There is in our life a certain very great purpose, and we must all serve this great common purpose. In this lies the whole sense and predestination of our life. All people, without exception, are slaves of this greatness, and all are compelled willy-nilly to submit and to fulfil without condition or compromise what has been predestined for each of us by his transmitted, hereditary and his acquired being. Now, after all that I have said, returning to the chief theme of the lecture read here today, I wish to refresh your memory about what has several times been referred to in defining man, the expressions real man and a man in quotation marks, and in conclusion to say the following. Although the real man who has already acquired his own I, and also the man in quotation marks who has not, are equally slaves of the said greatness, yet the difference between them, as I've already said, consists in this, that since the attitude of the former to his slavery is conscious, he acquires the possibility, simultaneously, with serving the all-universal actualizing, of applying a part of his manifestations according to the providence of great nature for the purpose of acquiring for himself imperishable being, whereas the latter, not cognizing his slavery, serves during the flow of the entire process of his existence exclusively only as a thing, which when no longer needed disappears forever. In order to make what I have just said more comprehensible and concrete, it will be useful if we compare human life in general to a large river which rises from various sources and flows on the surface of our planet, and the life of any given man to one of the drops of water composing this river of life. This river at first flows as a whole along a comparatively level valley, and at that place where nature has particularly undergone what is called a cataclysm, not according to law, it is divided into two separate streams, or, as it is also said, there occurs in this river a dividing of the waters. All the water of one stream, soon after passing this place, flows into a still more level valley, and with no surrounding, what is called majestic and picturesque scenery to hinder it, ultimately flows into the vast ocean. The second stream, continuing its flow over places formed by the consequences of the said cataclysm not according to law, ultimately falls into crevices in the earth, themselves also consequences of the same cataclysm, and seeps into the very depths of the earth. Although after the branching of the waters of both these streams flow further independently and no longer mingle, yet along the whole extent of their further course they frequently approach so near each other that all the results engendered from the process of their flowing blend, and even at times during great atmospheric phenomena such as storms, winds and so on, splashes of water or even separate drops pass from one stream into the other. Individually, the life of every man up to his reaching responsible age corresponds to a drop of water in the initial flow of the river, and the place where the dividing of the water occurs corresponds to the time when he attains adulthood. After this branching, any considerable subsequent movement, according to law, both of this river, as well as of any of the small details of this movement for the actualization of the predetermined destination of the whole river, applies equally to every separate drop, just in so far as the given drop is in the general totality of this river. For the drop itself, all its own displacements, directions and states caused by the differences of its position, by its various accidentally arisen surrounding conditions, and by the accelerated or retarded tempo of its movement, have always a totally accidental character. For the drops, there is not a separate predetermination of their personal fate. A predetermined fate is for the whole river only. At the beginning of the flow of the river, the lives of drops are here one moment, there the next moment, and a moment later they might not at all be as they are, but splashed out of the river and evaporated. And so, when on account of the unbecoming life of people, great nature was constrained to engender the corresponding in their common presences, then from that time on it was so established for the purposes of the common actualizing of everything existing that human life in general on the earth should flow in two streams, and great nature foresaw and gradually fixed in the details of her common actualization such a corresponding law conformableness, that in the drops of the water of the initial flow of the river of life, which have corresponding inner subjective what are called struggles of one's own self-denial, there might arise or not arise that something, thanks to which certain properties are acquired, giving the possibility, at the place of the branching of the waters of the river of life, of entering one or the other stream. That something, which in the common presence of a drop of water is a factor actualizing in it the property corresponding to one or another of the streams, is in the common presence of each man who attains responsible age, that I, which was referred to in today's lecture. A man who has in his common presence his own I enters one of the streams of the river of life, and the man who has not enters the other. The subsequent fate of any drop in the general river of life is determined at the dividing of the waters, according to the stream the drop happens to enter.